Hey there, this is author-illustrator Jarrett Lerner, and I am here today to read to you the first two chapters of my book, Geeger the Robot to the Rescue, the third book in the Geeger the Robot series. Chapter 1, Zip, Zip, Zip. Geeger is a robot, a very, very hungry robot. Geeger was constructed in a laboratory by a team of scientists. Then he was sent to the town of Amblerville, where he eats all the food that the rest of the townspeople don't want. Rotten eggs, moldy bread, mushy fruit, all that and then some. Geeger has a brain, just like you. There's one big difference, though. Geeger's brain is made up of wires, while your brain is made up of, well, gooey brain stuff. Most of the time, Geeger's brain tells him to do just one thing. Eat, 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 eat. At the end of every day, Geeger plugs himself into his Digestatron 5000. The machine sucks up all the food that Geeger has eaten, slurp, and turns it into electricity. The electricity then helps power Amblerville. Now and again, Geeger gets confused and eats things he's not supposed to, like forks, batteries, and toaster ovens. When Geeger does that, the Digestatron lets him know. The machine's lights flash, its sirens scream, wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. But it's been several weeks since Geeger has made the Digestatron flash and scream. The robot has been getting very good at only eating things he's supposed to eat. Speaking of weeks, it wasn't too many weeks ago that Geeger made a big decision. He decided to start going to school. Geeger loves going to Amblerville Elementary School. Every single day, he learns something new. Some days, Geeger learns a whole bunch of new things. On those days, he can just about feel the wires in his brain pulsing with electricity. Zip, zip, zip. Geeger's teacher is named Miss Bork. Geeger loves spending time in Miss Bork's classroom. There's the class pet, Fudge, the fuzziest, cuddliest hamster in the history of hamsters. Plus, the room is full of books. Geeger loves books. And the walls are covered in student artwork. Even Geeger has a work of art hanging up. But as much as Geeger likes it in Miss Bork's classroom, there's one place in Amblerville Elementary School that Geeger might like to be even more. The cafeteria. What a place! It's big and noisy. It's brimming with mouth-watering, circuit-sizzling scents. It's full of food. But Geeger's favorite thing about the cafeteria is that there's only one thing kids and robots are supposed to do there. Eat, 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 eat. And so Geeger steps through the doors of the cafeteria, finds a seat at his usual table, and prepares to do exactly that. Chapter 2, Lunchtime. The first thing Geeger and his friends always do at lunch is share what they brought with them to eat. Today, Sydney arrives and sits down first. She holds up something square-shaped and wrapped in shiny silver foil, plus a little bag of something green and flaky. Pickle and mayonnaise sandwich with a side of seaweed, she says. Spectacular, Geeger says, grinning at Sydney. That's robot for spectacular, which means yum, but I bet it would taste even better if the bread was stale and the mayonnaise was expired. Arjun shows up next. He holds up a clear plastic container filled with something stringy and red, plus a bag of sticky-looking pellets. Leftover spaghetti and meatballs and a side of dates, he says. Spiff-y, Geeger says, giving Arjun a thumbs up. That's robot for spiffy, which means super yummy, but I bet it would taste even better if the spaghetti was moldy. One by one, the rest of Geeger's friends show up and sit down. Olivia has a stack of crackers, a hunk of cheddar cheese, and a few squares of chocolate. Mac has hard-boiled eggs, a jar of pickled vegetables, and a bunch of pretzels. Susie and Raoul both brought pizza. Susie's has mushroom and onion on it, and Raoul's has pineapple and pepper. Gabe has a bologna sandwich on rye bread, and Roxy has a grilled cheese loaded up with 4 different kinds of mustard. Splendid, Geeger says, winking at all his friends. That's robot for splendid, which means, holy cow, does that look yummy, but I bet it would all taste even better if you left it in a dumpster for a couple weeks. As soon as Roxy is done sharing, she and all the rest of the kids from Miss Bork's class turn their attention to Geeger. They are eager to see what he brought for lunch. Geeger reaches for his lunchbox, but stops when he realizes something. Tilly, his best friend. She hasn't shared what she brought for lunch yet. Geeger looks to his left, since Tilly always sits right beside him at lunch. But she's not there. Tilly? Geeger says. The sound comes from the far end of the table. Geeger has to lean forward to get a look. And there he sees Tilly, slumped over her lunch, her lips sagging down in a frown. Bagel, she mutters. Cream cheese. Geeger can see that Tilly is unhappy. Even if he wasn't her best friend, he would be able to tell just by looking at her. Did she not want a bagel with cream cheese for lunch? Before he can ask her, Gabe says, "Come on, Geeger, hurry up and show us what you've got." Geeger keeps his eyes on Tilly. He watches her pick up her bagel, tear off a tiny bite, then drop the rest of the thing atop the baggie that it came in. "Geeger," cries Gabe, "come on already." Okay, Geeger says, grabbing his lunchbox. He prepares to show his friends what he brought for lunch. So those are the first 2 chapters of Geeger the Robot to the Rescue, the 3rd book in the Geeger the Robot series. If you liked it, I hope you'll check out the rest of the book and the other books in this series, including the first one, Geeger the Robot Goes to School. Thanks for listening.